Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to my channel for another Hot Toys Secret Base figure preview video. Before we begin, I have to say a massive thank you to Ryan Kirkwood for going out in person and snapping these stunning high-res pictures. Show Ryan some love in the comments below. Without him, this series just wouldn't be possible. If you are looking to pre-order your very own Guardians of the Galaxy Vol.3 Star-Lord, he's available from toyswonderland.com. Link for their site is in the description below. They've got Pay in 4 and a loyalty program. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, so you're notified as soon as a brand new Hot Toys review or figure preview video goes live on the channel. Another day, another Guardians member. This time, as you can see, plain as day, it's Star-Lord. And who knew it would take Hot Toys 1, 2, 3 different attempts to finally nail Chris Pratt's likeness? This head sculpt, it's very, very good, and we will discuss it in a lot more detail later on. I can't wait till we get to that. Accessories? Well, you get a whole bunch of them, and most of them, yes, are hands. At the very least, they're unique gestures for hands. They're all brand new for this figure. You've got fingerless gloves. There's some ribbed detail on the back of the gloves themselves, the little Velcro strap sculpted in down below. Then for the fingers, there's fingernails and skin texture, all the detail you would expect from fingerless gloves. And the gestures, like I just said before, they are specific to this figure. I don't think we've ever seen Star-Lord with this particular style of glove before. They work so well for a dancing pose. The finger guns, the pointing fingers, the open palm hands. You can pull off some really funny looking poses, and that's great for Star-Lord. His blasters look as amazing as they always have, with the little heat treatment on the barrel with that tinge of the bluish purple, and the carbon fiber detail on the grip, and the gold, and the silver chipping and dry brushing. But now, blast effects. Finally, blast effects for laser-based weapons. Why did it take Hot Toys so long to do this? I sure as shit don't know, but I hope we see more of these blast effects. Hot Toys, clone troopers, stormtroopers, anyone else with a blaster. We need more blast effects with these weapons. It just adds a whole new dimension to posing and figure photography. Speaking of figure photography, hot damn, that's a good head sculpt. That subtle head tilt with the eyes off to the side, because yes, they can move. Thank you, Hot Toys, for letting us know. I'm enamored with that sculpt. Another tease, I promise we will discuss it eventually. So the display base is pretty simple. It's hexagonal. Around the front it says Star-Lord, and up the top it says Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And the Ravager logo is red this time. So Rockets is a different color, Groot's is a different color, Cosmo doesn't get a base, unfortunately. And I wouldn't be surprised if we do get the rest of the team, their bases will be different colors as well. The boots, they look awesome. Look at that super fine mesh texture. That actually looks like fabric. It's not fabric, it's all sculpted, and it's a split cut boot design. This might just be the most posable Star-Lord out of the bunch of them. Now, the other ones were no slouches, don't get me wrong, they could pull off some crazy poses, but the issue was, you wouldn't really want to leave them in those poses, because their pleather jackets, they would flake, and they would peel, and they would degrade over time. Whereas with this figure, there ain't no pleather, it's all fabric and just some rubbery screen-printed sections. So I would have no problem whatsoever leaving this guy in a dancing pose. Finally, I can do that with a Star-Lord in my collection. The blue looks accurate in terms of the color, not too dark and not too vibrant either. There are multiple ribbed sections. We've got various little panels and bits and pieces that make up the actual look of the suit itself, all stitched together so it looks layered. And on the side of his hips, you do have the tried and true Star-Lord blaster holster things. You know, it's that little grabby hook thing. It's painted in gunmetals / almost to silver, and it just hooks around the grip of the blaster. It doesn't work exactly like a holster. It doesn't slide around the blaster itself. It more just cups the handle. I don't exactly know what I'm trying to say. The blasters frickin' go on his hips. They plug onto these little pieces on the side. The belt is sculpted out of a rubbery plastic. There's dry brushing all over it. And actually, now that I mentioned the dry brushing, the weathering, if you will, there is weathering here, but not everywhere for some reason. On the red sections, weathering. On the rubbery plastic screen printed fabric sections, yes, more weathering. On the boots, weathering. On the belt, weathering. On the Ravager logo, also weathering. But on the blue fabric, no weathering? Hot Toys? What the hell? If you're going to go all in with the weathered look, you gotta put some speckling of dirt and grime on the blue fabric as well. It's almost as though they're scared of doing it on fabric, because if they did do it for all the blue sections, they may struggle to recreate that on the production line. If you think about it, fabric and paint or printing on the surface, it doesn't always mix well, because when you're trying to inject that paint onto the surface or into the fibers of the fabric, it can react differently for every single piece of fabric. It's not going to be 100% uniform, and not all of them are going to look great. So that could be a reason why they aren't doing as much weathering on the blue fabric sections. We will have to wait and see for the final product. Everything else, though, is very nicely weathered. We've got dirt and grime everywhere else, just not on the blue fabric pieces. He does come with his Zune. Fairly certain that's what that is. No longer a Walkman, and certainly not an iPod, because Star-Lord, he's one goofy MF. He thought that Footloose was the best movie ever made. So of course he has a Zune. Typical Star-Lord. This is one of his finger gun hands, and it works great for this particular pose. He's got the Zune on, he's listening to his jams, and, he's just doing a little bit of a dance. Why the heck not? It's Star-Lord. He's got some defined traps thanks to the multi-layered look of the outfit, with those pieces that work their way around the collar and onto the traps. Love the way that looks. Finally, it's time for the Headsculpt, the pièce de résistance. Hot Toys? This is an incredible head sculpt. The likeness to Chris Pratt is undeniable, and this time, it's a fixed neck head sculpt, so the realism is just taken to another level. Whereas with the previous ones, you had a cut underneath the chin. And while that does allow for more articulation, 100%, you've got a ball joint at the base of the neck with the old one and at the base of the head sculpt, you're sacrificing just a little bit of range of motion for a way more lifelike looking head sculpt. The skin texture, the wrinkling, the frown lines, they're subtle, but they're there. Even the facial hair with some skin poking through and how it works its way down the neck. Hot Toys, all of that stuff is top tier, but my favorite detail, the hair. There's flow to it, you've got some sculpted strands and some individual little dangly pieces of hair down on his forehead. This might just be the best sculpted hairpiece that I have ever seen from Hot Toys. It just looks so real, and it's not rooted. This is fully sculpted. And it's a separate piece, because I would imagine you have to take it off to move the eyes. So that gap underneath the forehead, that's a real gap, so it casts a shadow on the forehead, making it look even better. All in all, I'm so happy with this guy, even though we don't get the helmet, and it's not his iconic / comic book style appearance. It's the team suit. And if we do get everyone in their respective team suits, it's a big if, I am aware, it's going to be one hell of a display. So, Hot Toys, don't let us down. Give us the full team. Now, if you are looking to grab this guy, he is available from toyswonderland.com. Link for that is in the description below. They have pay in 4 and a loyalty program. While you're down there, why not hit that subscribe, bell notification icon, and join button, if you like the sound of seeing your name in the end credits of my reviews. Like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll catch you in the next video.